hot one today. Hot one today, man. 1 second. Let me see Alright, anyway. Say shalom, giving all praises to Yahawah, Yahawashi the Son. Also give a dub honor to the elders of GMS, honor to the Akim, which should be good. Alright. Peace and bless to you, brothers and sisters that listen. The hopeful elect, man. Kahala Yahawah Yahawashi, man. Okay? Another hot one. Alright, all glory to the Most High. Okay? Able to come out here week in and week out. Push this truth, man. See? Let me get and you have this guy Eric Mason is at it again, man. Eric Freemason, I should say. Okay? He's at it again, man. He's at it again, man. And he totally butchered the scriptures, man. On Jeremiah 14 and 2. That guy has no understanding. And that's such a basic breakdown. There's nothing hard. Matter of fact, let me get it. Since I mentioned it, let me get it. Jeremiah 14 and 2. And I may have to go back into the basics. May have to go back into the basic scriptures again, man. And it shows you that he's watching. And that guy is set up. Alright? These guys are paid agents, man. To plant the seed of doubt and to cause confusion. But let me read Jeremiah 14 and 2. Judah mourneth. Who is Judah? The head tribe. So-called Negroes today. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. Who are the gates? I'm going to just read it and break it down. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. So he's saying that Jeremiah is talking about the actual gates. I'll show you that guy is a... Oh, boy. This guy has his degree in theologian seminary school. And he can't even break down Jeremiah 14 and 2. Show you that whole thing is BS, man. Wow, Jake is gone, man. This nigga's out here bugged out, man. So I'm saying, oh man, this place gotta go, man. This place gotta go up in flames, man. Everybody looking at that America gonna be destroyed sign. That's exactly what's gonna happen, man. Okay? Anyway, let me read that again. Jeremiah 14 and 2. Judah mourneth. The Israelites are mourning. Okay? And at that time the Babylonians came in and they destroyed Jerusalem. And the gates thereof languish. What are the gates? Let me get Deuteronomy. Let's link precept with precept. Because he ain't talking about the actual gates, you jackass, man. Deuteronomy chapter 16 verse 18. It says, judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates. The judges and the officers, man. The judges of the people, which Yahawashi thy power giveth thee throughout all thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. So who are the gates that language? The leadership. Okay? The leadership had language or was feeble or made weak. Okay? That's why people was in mourning, man. That is fact. Because Zion was destroyed, man. And it says that they're what? They are black unto the ground. Qadar means dark unto the earth. We're all black unto the ground, man. And that's talking about literal. Because it was a famine. What happens to anybody, a person of color, becomes malnutrition? You do get darker in your hue or your pigment. The so-called white man, they get more pale. Look at the quote-unquote Holocaust. When they were dying of typhus. Okay? They got pale, man. They ain't get black onto the ground or dark onto the earth. That's why, let me read this. Because Jeremiah also wrote the book of Lamentation. Lamentation means to lament or mourning. That's what it says, the Jews are mourning. And we are mourning. The children of Israel. Let me get the book of Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 5. And I'm going to get another precept. Let's go through some basic scriptures today, man. Lamentations 5 and 10. No. 8. Lamentations 5 and 8. Their visage or their image is blacker than coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaved to their bones because it was a famine. It withered, it become like a stick. It was a famine. But it said what they visage is blacker than coal, man. That goes to Jeremiah 14 and 2. That happened to the Israelites. Alright? So that's a cold cut, man. Alright? You know what? I'm going to have to just go through the basics. Since you got brothers and sisters coming in, I'm going to just have to go through the basics, man. Basic color scriptures, man. Video will come out this July the 4th, in a couple of days, and when America supposedly got their independence, man, you got niggas that are gonna celebrate that shit too, man. That BS, man. I'm gonna get some scriptures in a minute, but let me go through some basic color scriptures, because the Jews are black or people of color, brown, different shades of brown. Right? Just like, let me get Acts 13 and 1. And it's all kind of scriptures, man. Come on, man. How you gonna say the people in Israel are the real Jews, man? Let me get Acts 13 and 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch, Syria, certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, Israelites, that was called Niger. Let's look that word up. We get Acts 13 and 1. Let's see the word there in the Greek. It's the same word, but for edification's sake, I'm going to get it. Acts 13. Let's look at the word there. They were called Niger, which sounds similar to a word that people use on a day-to-day basis. Niger, which is the same word, like I said, Niger, which means black, okay? They were called black. That's where the word nigger derives from. So I'm going to read the precept again. Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there was in the church that was at Antioch, Syria, certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon that was called Niger, okay? Black, okay, and Lucius of Cyrene and Manon, which hath brought up Herod the Tetrarch and Saul, Paul, okay. And what color was the Apostle Paul? Let me get Acts 21. I'm not gonna go into nothing deep, basic scriptures, because you got quote unquote theologians who don't know this, man, because you guys don't have the Spirit. You can't purchase the Holy Spirit, man, or the understanding of the book, no matter how much money you pay anybody. Okay? The Most High has to be dealing with you. Acts 21:36. It's the Apostle Paul when they were taking him away in Jerusalem. For the multitude of the people followed after, crying, away with him. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, because that's when our people came up against him, because they thought he was bringing heathens into the temple. He said unto the chief captain, was a Roman, may I speak unto thee? Who said, canst thou speak Greek? So the Roman soldier was surprised at the Apostle Paul. He said, you can speak Greek? He said, what? Art not thou that Egyptian, which before these days made us an uproar, and led us out the wilderness, 4,000 men that were murderers? So what? The Apostle Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian, man. Okay? Which those are Hamites, man. Okay? Just like Moses passed for an Egyptian, man. Just like Joseph. Matter of fact, let me get that. Genesis, the 42nd, I believe it's the 42nd chapter. When Joseph, who was the father of you Ephraimites and you Manassites, you Puerto Ricans and Cubans, okay, Taino Indians, and the tribe of Manasseh, Cubans, Manasha, he was mistaken for an Egyptian. And Egyptians were extremely tall and dark. They got all kind of hieroglyphics, okay? We ain't talking about the white Greeks who later came in during the time of Ptolemy. We're talking about way before that, all right? When you go into the Ramses and the Setis and the Akhenaten, all right? Those guys were extremely, and the Queen Nefertari, they were extremely dark. And that's the people in Sudan today. Manute those people. Tall and dark, man. You read Genesis, the 49th chapter, and Esau has that in them institutions you call museums. Genesis chapter 42. Genesis 42. It says, we start from verse 1.
Yeah.
Genesis 42. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do ye look one upon another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy for us from thence, and we may live and not die. There was a famine. Alright? And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin and Joseph's brother, which came to Rebekah, Jacob sent not his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for that famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And he had a dream about that. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not, because he passed for an Egyptian. He was dressing like it as an Egyptian, man. Okay? He was dressing their attires, their garbs. His own brethren couldn't recognize him. Okay? So he actually passed for a tall, Medic individual, man. That shows you the color of our people. How you doing? Good, you?
Good.
Alright.
Family good?
Yeah, very good. See what I'm saying? So Joseph passed for an Egyptian. Moses passed for an Egyptian. Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian. So come on, man. What are you talking about? What you gonna say now, Eric Mason? That the Egyptians were also white? That's just foolish, man. Let me read Leviticus, the 13th chapter. I'll show you that skin is a curse, man. Matter of fact, you also had that in 2 Kings and also Numbers, the 12th chapter. Leviticus chapter 13. Verse 13. Verse 1. And Yahawashi spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or bright spot. It's going into the different forms of leprosy. A bright spot, and be in the skin of his flesh, like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest. Read verse 3. And the priest shall look on the plague of the skin of the flesh, and when the hair of the plague is sight deeper than the skin of the flesh, his actual skin, it is a plague of leprosy. No, let's jump up. It says, when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of the flesh, which they call vitiligo today. Okay, that's leprosy, man. That discoloration of the skin. That's leprosy, man. It is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. Let's read different parts. Verse 10, and the priest shall see him, and behold, the rising be white in the skin, and it turn the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising. It is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. The priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall shut him up, for he is unclean. So the way they look was unclean. That's an unclean look, man. That raw flesh that they have, man. But they're clean lepers. They were born that way. That's a mark that the Most High put on Cain to show he was a wicked, man. All right, if you're spiritual, because we read in Leviticus the 13th chapter right now. So how the son of the Most High gonna be white with blonde hair? We gonna cut all that foolishness today, man. All right, let me read on. It says, let me see verse 19. Says, verse 18, the flesh also, in which even the skin thereof was a boil. So you start getting boils on your skin, and it was healed. And in the place of the boil, there be a white rising, or a bright spot, and somewhat reddish. It shall be shown to the priest. And when the priest seeth it, behold, it will be in the sight lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white. And the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the boil, man. Okay? So when you start getting them white spots in your skin, that's leprosy, man. Now let me read verse 30. Verse 30. Then the priest, let's start from verse 29. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head of the beard, let's see how they look like. Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, it will be in sight deeper than the skin. And if there be in it a yellow thin hair, which is what? Blonde hair, man. Then what? That's leprosy of the scalp or your beard. Yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. Okay? It is a dry scalp, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. That's an unclean look, man. Come on, man. The whole scriptures is against the white man, man. Esau, man. So how you gonna jump up and say Jeremiah 14:2 ain't talking about that, man. Oh boy, Jake is dumb. All right, we read Numbers 12 and 10. Let me read Song of Solomon first. No, let me read Numbers 12 and 10. Jake is, this is fucking, excuse my French, just slow, man. And you don't know these scriptures, man? These are basic scriptures, man. These are the scriptures you first learn when you come into the knowledge, man. It's the Lord's description. Because you got to cast down that white image. Okay? That's the first thing that got to get cast down, man. That other Jesus. Numbers chapter 12, verse 10. This after the Most High rebuked Miriam for coming up against Moses. Because Moses was dealing with an Ethiopian woman, or the Midianite. She was upset. So she spoke out against it. Her and Aaron. But the Most High jacked up Aaron. Because it's not a woman's place to get speak out her face like that, man. Okay? Especially to someone like Moses. Numbers 12 and 10. And this is what happened. And the clouds departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. She became a white woman. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, I beg thee, lay not the sin upon us when we have done foolishly, when we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Yahawashi, saying, Heal her now, O Most High, I beseech you. Okay? So that was an unclean look, man. And that's the standard of beauty in today's world, because everything is turned upside down. And in the kingdom, that's a cursed look, man. You know, Israelite gonna have leprosy, man. Some of you Israelites that look like the other nations, you're gonna be changed. That's what I'm gonna read Isaiah 29:26, man. See, that's an Edomite right there, man. Boy, red like a lobster, man. Cracking in the sun. Those are not the people of the Lord, man. Isaiah 29:16. It says, Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. So they turn everything upside down, including the standard of beauty. Not only the world itself and these doctrines and his philosophies, also his standard of beauty, man. Okay? That's why we jump in. That's why Israelites bleach their skin, because they're foolish, man. They don't know who they are. They're lost and they're bugged out. And it all started with Cesare Borgia. You see? But through the power of Yahawashi, that's been cast down, man. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. Okay? Ain't no wicked ass theologian nigga gonna try to resurrect that image, man. You're gonna die right along with it. Okay? That's been destroyed, man. You can't resurrect that. You guys are trying hard. That's a hopeless fight. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. Oh, this is 1 Corinthians. Salakia. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty to the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds, man. The strongholds in your minds, man. Okay? That these wicked preachers have been preaching for such a long time, which is that plantation Christianity. You see? But the Most High resurrected the ancient prophet. In fact, let me get Ecclesiastes 49. So you got the prophets and the apostles today, man, standing in their lot, waking Jacob back up, the remnant of Jacob. Let me get the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 49. Man, I ain't bring this on in a minute, but let me see if I can find it real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 49. This also this reincarnation. It says, Ecclesiastes chapter 49, verse 10. And of the 12 prophets, or what Esau called the minor prophets, let the memorial be blessed, and let their bones flourish again out of their place. Let their bones flourish again out of their place. So that means they're back, man. For they comforted Jacob and delivered them by assured hope. What's that hope? Faith, man. Okay? That's why the scripture says, let me get the book of Zechariah. Alright? Faith coming by what? Romans. Hit it, man. Oh, yeah. They delivered Jacob with assured hope, man. Again, Romans 10. Like I said, I was going to go through some basic color scriptures because this guy's an asshole. I mean, Romans 10:17. For then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing the word of the Most High, man. Okay? So now let's jump. Faith coming by hearing the words of Yahawashi. That's how they delivered Jacob. By assured hope. It's by the word, man. It's by the word, man. And I was going to set out, not Matthew, Zechariah, I said I was going to get. Probably Yahawashi. This is what our people need. We need to be Esau's colleges. You have these fake politicians talking about they're gonna get rid of the college debt. How are they gonna get rid of the college debt when they're already $22 trillion in debt? Okay, so the strength in all the degrees, the strength in this economy, the strength is in these scriptures, man. All right, because all what you see around you gonna fall, man. Including these false doctrines. Zechariah chapter 9 verse 12. Turn you to the stronghold, this word, ye prisoners of hope. And that's what we are, prisoners of hope. Alright? Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee who's born into Esau. We're going to read. When I beg Judah for me, the southern kingdom, you Negroes, Palestinians, and you Haitians, and fill the hole with Ephraim, Hispanics, and you Native Americans, through the line of their fathers. And raise up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, Edomites, so-called white man today, and made thee as a sword of a mighty man. Okay? So the Most High bringing the two kingdoms together, man. See? The 12 tribes is gathering together, man. So I can use this today. Right? The gathering of the 12 tribes. Hold on a second. And I don't see Eric Mason talking against homosexuality either, man. Here it is for so-called Pride Month. None of these Christians take a stand on anything, man. Oh, I think in California, let me see if I can find an article. See if I can find this article, man. Let's see. See if I can find this real quick. The Christian church gonna take a stand against this? No. Because you guys ain't built for nothing. You guys will speak out against anything, man. I could go sit down on this too. This is crazy. crucial in this time period we live in. See? It says the church is under attack. California's lawmakers passed a measure forcing pastors to embrace LGBT ideology. Wow. So they want you to embrace that wickedness, man, that garbage. Man. Now, are these Christian preachers, is this guy Eric Mason speaking out against that? Of course not. Because it's a lot of them guys that get stipends from the government. They're 501c3. They're funded by the government. That's why the government could tell you guys, make sure, we're going to read it, that you include that in your ideology. Let's see where you guys are going to stand now, man. Okay? The California State Assembly has passed a resolution telling pastors to affirm homosexuality in violation of their biblical beliefs. Assembly Evan Lowe and 3 dozen other lawmakers pushed the resolution. And the State Assembly Judiciary Committee that's aimed at telling religious leaders in California what they should preach from their pulpits. The measure passed this week thanks in part of the help of Dr. Kevin Minota. And it's crazy how you people still go up there and vote. You still go and vote. You still trust in these people. Now they're telling you what you can and can't preach. Where's the so-called freedom of speech, man? There is none, man. Okay? Religion, church, and state don't go together. Okay? But rightfully so, they're telling you guys what you can preach because you guys are all underneath their charter. See, we don't have no charter. We don't have no strings attached to us, man. We're under Yahawashi. That's what the Most High gives the power to come out here and do what we do, man. We put it on the internet. See? They can't tell us to teach that garbage. We're the false Israelite camps, okay? They're underneath charters. You guys will have to take part in that as well soon, man. That's why you teach that the Rfid chip, the mark of the beast. You teach that the Rfid chip is not the mark of the beast, man. Because you guys sold out, man. And you guys don't bring out prophecies, man. That's a huge no-no. The whole book is dealing with prophecy, man. Okay? So, like I just read, they want you to integrate that LGBT, that wicked ass shit. They want you to integrate that into what? Your doctrine, man. You see? We ain't integrating that, man. The Most High gonna destroy these people, man. That's taking part in that activity, man. Point blank, period, man. The God of the Bible don't love sodomites. He don't. Alright? So let me read the precept. So there ain't no integration, man. Let's read. Let me read 2 Peter. Alright? And this is the New Testament. Because these Christians don't believe in the Old Testament. So we're going to read the New Testament. And let's see what the Bible says on that. Maybe the Most High changed. Let's see. Read 2 Peter. Peter, the head apostle that Yahawashi built the church upon. Let's see. Alright? 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 6. And this is the Bible. This is the book that they swear on. But Esau is a hypocrite. He don't believe in the Bible. This is what the Bible says, man. Okay? The book of all books, man. Okay? The word of the Heavenly Father, man. This is what he said about sodomy. Let's read. 2 Peter 2 and 6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, and condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto all those that after should live ungodly, man.